The bus arrives from Calgary, Canada, with a crew of eager skiers to get into the helicopter to get into the Bobby Burns camp. This has no road that's plowed into it in the winter, but must be fully replenished with food and skiers by helicopter. So they really get around with the helicopter. We see skis with their package from the commercial airplane, all our suitcases into the chopper. Everybody eager to get going. And finally we take off from this vacant lot where the bus drops us. Storm of snow. We watch the first load go out. We say goodbye to the bus and our packages. We follow this lead helicopter many miles back into the deep forest in the high precipitation snow mountains. Our baggage is carefully inspected by a stray dog, wonder if there's anything in it for him. Let's watch till we take off now. And the camera's in motion, and its own helicopter. There's the bus saying goodbye to us. In the helicopter, the pilot sits on the right-hand side and drops us in the mountains, nearly snow-covered buildings of Camp Bobby Burns. There's electric fuel-fired diesel heater that the pilot warms up the engine with each morning. Stretch comes out and looks over the inspection. Clouds are low over the mountains. You fly up under the clouds and just over the treetops. There's usually air and the edge which is clear. We get instruction on how to use the avalanche finder, which he's handling. And he says, you guys got to get it right because I might get lost. Listen up and listen to the beep beep of the lost skier. And you have to learn a grid pattern to find that fast. We've got 7 minutes until he gets asphyxiated usually. Away we go. In motion, you can see the densely forested mountains and the slopes cleared by avalanche force. And these are the slopes we want to ski on. Over the clouds now. We're coming around them, we're on top of them. Quite sporty helicopter flying. Another team takes off from our camp. The helicopter entertains usually 2 teams, transferring one team while the other team is skiing, and they keep in touch with the team guide leader by radio, so this minimizes the waiting. Seems to me you're always moving. Look at those slopes. Wet this day. This guy's wringing his gloves out even. I use mink oil on my gloves to try and somewhat waterproof them. This is a wet, heavy snow. This is not Colorado Power. Let's follow the guide. The rules are you must stay behind him. Otherwise, he said he might fall off a cliff that I know about and you don't. Another team comes up. Over the rugged terrain. We're going to ski down some of that. Duck down low now, avoid the chopping blades overhead. Everybody get down. Another team is dropped off. Another team will come and replace it. And the evening, a nice sunset, which the Kodachrome film was a little bit aged here, and we see it distorts a little bit the picture, or the color is warped. Below sharp peaks. We won't be skiing quite on that steep a slope, but the avalanche slopes we ski on hardly have any trees on them. Let's follow some skiers down these pristine slopes. Each wiggle in a different way depending on their skill. We pass beneath the glacier, the deep blue ice, quickly, as it might fall off on us. But look, there's a good slope below it. Next team up with a helicopter. See, we're above the clouds. Look at above the clouds. Beautiful treeless slopes. You really see any skiers falling in this film. You're considered expert skiing to go on this type of terrain, which really isn't all that hard once you get used to it. There's a guy from Great Britain I remember, he had schnapps in his ski pole and shared it with anyone who would care to imbibe. I avoided. I get my thrill on the slopes. Parallel skiing with linked turns. No snow plowing in this. Beautiful morse snow. Trick is to link turns with your partner going down the hill. It adds a little zazz to it. Look up at the avalanche slopes above us. It's hard to take good snow pictures when you're really there for the skiing, not just to take pictures. In the orange parka is Paul Allison, my friend from Los Alamos. He and I were ski buddies in this trip, looking after each other the best we could. Nearly all men doing this kind of skiing. Some girls were quite like ballerinas on skis, very nimble. We waited a distance while the chopper lands far away from us to pick up another team before we skied down the last 100 yards while being picked up. There's a pickup helicopter for another team, not ours. We're too far away. Stay out of the snow. Now down to get to the chopper. Weird way he puts that lift into it. But he makes the turns. Paul does better to sharpen turn. You better watch out for the other people who have stopped at the bottom. Splat! And the head-on photography is, of course, the most fascinating, even with an old film camera. Some days I skied in a shirt without my blue parka on top. Actually fairly warm in spite of all the snow you see. It's probably around 33 to 35 degrees outside. Close to melting. From under the edge of the clouds, we dip down into the treeless slope below. Avalanches have long since swept off the trees, and they can't restart there. With a heavy snowpack overhead. Friend from Los Alamos again, it's Paul, admiring the view. Obviously a pose shot for him and me, but the action's more fun. Link turns, that's a challenge. You make a chain with your leader right ahead of you. You need a beautiful length path down the slope. We're going to stop pretty soon by lunch, brought up by helicopter in a bucket. There you see close up the link turns. Very few skiers at this ski level, and with the consistent snow, very few have a fall. Stand up and keep going. Many of us are trained for many months to get the strong thighs you need to have all that lift out of the snow. Still looking around the edge of the clouds, a treeless slope. There's that lunch bucket. Nice sandwiches. We'll back up here in a bit and get the helicopter in the foreground as we look back up at the nearly vertical slope where we came down earlier to this flat spot. Love this British hat. A little late for lunch. Now the action continues. Trees trying to grow on the edge of the avalanche path frequently get pushed over and bent downhill. Those are the survivors. The rest of them are wiped out or completely splatted. There are some of the bent trees. The creep gets them little by little. On top of a fairly flat glacier, the gang was willing to let me go ahead so I could shoot them head on coming down. This is really nirvana skiing. Those who come to the deep snow, the Canadian Rockies. It's a thrill to make your own path in the snow of consistency. You're not worried about an icy patch in this kind of snow, unless you hit somebody else's tracks. Then it's flat out and a little faster. I'll come on toward the camera now. I'll hold it as still as I can. That's it. We ski with the lift on the turns, and there we end the trip. Canadian Mountain Holidays.